Now that we've established how small organic molecules were formed, it makes sense to now finally look at how, let's say, organic molecules formed, specifically organic macromolecules. So let's entitle this is going to be a very short flowchart, but a very important one. It's going to be the next stepwise thing, which is organic macromolecule formation. Instead of the small molecules, now we'll talk about big molecules. So organic macromolecule formation. How did these guys form? So what happened was, and this is going to be sort of a repeat of what we've already learned, what we had were organic polymers. Remember, poly meaning many subunits. Organic, many subunits formed, and these usually are considered to be birthed or formed on clay or rock in the early Earth. What does that mean? Basically, if we focus on this idea of clay, clay provides us negative ions. Clay has negative ions. What does that do for us? Negative ions are things that are charged, of course, because they're ions and they're negative. This charged negative ion environment helps attract. So clay also has the ability, because of its environment, because of its negative ions, attract and bind molecules. The key word here is, if we think about it, organic macromolecule formation, right? How do we form macromolecules? We're not only going to attract organic things, but guess what else we're going to do? We're going to bind them together. We're going to bind them together, and this process, this entire process of forming organic macromolecules, was actually catalyzed at the clay region of Earth by two different elements, by zinc, you can write it as zinc 2+, and also iron in the 2+ state. The presence of both of these helped make sure that organic macromolecules were formed, and overall what we had in this situation was these negative ions, these charged negative ions, attracting and binding the chemical molecules that we originated with, and then finally utilizing zinc and iron, we can understand that they combined them, let's say, in a way that helped promote macromolecules to be built. Overall, macromolecule formation occurred at the clay, and the clay had specific components within it, specifically zinc and iron, to help form macromolecules.